So he hits you from behind.
Now, on Dr. Phil, this woman was attacked by a dude on the subway, and she was basically alone, right? But he had also murdered his grandmother, right? Maybe he was having flashbacks or something. But this is an example of doing wrong, right? And you know it's wrong, right? As well, right? I can't just pick somebody, right? And do wrong with them. Especially a child, right? What you're doing is so messed up, right? I'm thanking my shipmates for this person and was saying all this to her to break her up with me. Oh no. It's Miss Johnson, right? That I would do such things, right? See, they were sabotaging me from the beginning as soon as I got to the ship and after he electrocuted himself, right? See, he don't want me to tell you that, right? You understand why? Right. Once he messed up and misidentified me as his friend, that's proof they were already gun decking, right? And not doing the job properly because you're supposed to do it independently too, right? That's another thing. You're supposed to do well, what it is everybody on the ship is supposed to do the maintenance, right? And really, if you want to learn, you're supposed to do it all, right? You know, everything, right? And then you can learn how to work on the ship, electrical stuff first, right? And then when you get into the civilian world, that's where, again, you can learn to do the houses or the, right? And to do that part of electricity, right? Well, that's still, not just simply, right, doing it how you want to do it. You got to follow the correct way, right, to with any job. Well, the problem is I didn't know anything in detail, not even what I'm supposed to be working on in certain spaces, though the work card gets you to that space, right? I still don't know what I'm supposed to be working on, right, when I'm in that space, right? You know what I mean, right? Now, all I can do at that point is make sure there's nothing off, right? But then you gotta go behind me and do the job yourself. You understand what you're doing there, right?
Make their life better and their family better, and what about us?
Right.
And later,
So the other problem is, with this incident is people don't seem to care or can't stop the violence, and or they care about their neck of the woods but not the subway, right? And that's why it's on Dr. Phil today, right? Right. Now, like I told you about exercising, right? Now, when I exercise, right, during the day, right, I do certain exercises, right? Right. Now, doing the exercises six, Now, with the curls, though, you can also go in. Now, when I did the 25 pounds, that can build muscle, right? But if I do more reps, right, with lower weight, that builds more endurance strength, right? Right. So if I go again, right, to the middle, so that's 30 reps, right, doing the curls, right? And so what that does is that builds up endurance type strength, right? And things like that, right? Exactly, right? It's not always about the amount of weight either, right? Now, what the curl and the press do is they work the whole arm, right? One works the bicep and the other works the tricep, right? But it also works your whole arm when you push something up, right? Now, that can, since my injury is in the center of the back and down the pelvis and to the left side, what that does is, again, right, I have to work more with the side that works better, which is the right. It don't have too much pain, a little bit of arthritic pain in the foot, but you probably know why too, right? I'm getting older, right? That's probably more rheumatoid arthritis than traumatic arthritis from an injury, right? And there's different types of arthritis for different things. Now, it's more the arthritis right now that's causing me to slow down and not be able to maintain a work environment. Even if I'm driving for Uber or Lyft, I have problems even sitting for too long. I actually have to lay down for a few hours, like I told you before. And this is to tell you about my real case, too, right? So this is another way to work your triceps. It's called a reverse curl. And then you go in, right? Well, like I told you, if someone's injured and the doctors tell them she could lose her sight, right? Like this lady here. Who do you believe? Now, here's what Jesus would say to her. What would you have me do with you? Do you want me to heal your vision even though the doctors say it can't be healed? Or not? Do you want to lose your vision and listen to the doctors? Or do you think you can get better, right? And I heal it, right? And again, right, restore your sight. Yes. And I'm trying to do that with the injury too, right? I'm trying to be more positive about it than negative, even if I still feel the pain every day, but I'm explaining to you the mentality behind it, right? I've been hurting since 1994, September 15th, when I woke up in the ER in pain in my ankle and sacrum, right? Or lower back, right? That pain has stayed with me off and on throughout the years, and I can't get rid of it, right? Though I'm trying to with both positive thinking, believing Jesus can heal it, and again, letting the day take its root, right? And working it out throughout the day, right? If I hurt, I pray to Jesus, asking Jesus to heal it. Even if he don't fully heal it, right? It don't mean he's not working on it, right? And how many times do I have to ask him? Every day. Until it stops hurting, right? He knows why it's injured, right? He also knows, according to medical science, I should have been paralyzed and left in the bed for the rest of my life, right? That's what they were acting like themselves, right? But my faith in the woman's faith has to be, do I want to recover my sight, or do I want to punish the guy alone who attacked me? Can I even forgive him? Here's the point too, right? Like Jesus said, right? Or do I want to punish him and forgive him? I can do that too, right? Because he, again, was not supposed to damage her eye, right? He had no right to attack a strange woman, even if she reminded him of his grandma, which is what I think was going on, right? And he attacked her like he did his grandma. If you're following the story, and I am talking. But anyway, right? Okay, and attacked her for no reason. And if I'm correct, his grandma was probably raising him along, right? But might have been an old bitch. And you don't normally kill your grandma. Or your family members unless, there's something going on. Right. And see, he don't want to tell you why he did it, right? But I'm sure there's also a reason he did it, right? You don't understand, right? Now, this is trying to reach also the victimizer and figure out why he made her a victim that day, right? Right. See, it's not simply that he attacked her. Why did he attack her, right? What was the trigger, right? There was a trigger there, right? Something reminded him, perhaps, if he murdered his grandma at 14, I don't know, about the grandma, probably, right? And he was seeing his grandma and attacked her again, right? Now, by 14, right, if she's a stern grandma or a beach grandma, you know what I mean, right? Black or white, it's not about skin color, right? He murdered her at 14, right? Whatever the reasons, it's wrong to murder someone, right? You can't justify murder, right? But now, to rehabilitate the man, you gotta really find out why he murdered her at 14. That's not normal, right? No. For anyone to do, right? Something wrong, right? His way of thinking has become perverted and, fucked up, right? Excuse my French there, you know what I mean, right? The word means fornication and unlawful carnal knowledge. ED up. And you don't know if someone's killing their grandmother at 14 what that grandma is actually doing to that boy, right? For him to do so, right? It's not normal, right? But you also want to rehabilitate the criminal, not just stick him in prison or jail. That don't help either. I know it don't. That just puts a crowded jail cell. That just puts everybody in prison. And there's reasons people are doing this crap, and they're told not to tell you, or they're scared not to tell you, or right. Same reason, right? But something going on if you're killing your grandma at 14, trust me, right? No one normally does that, right? Right? So, I know there's something going on for the boy to do that in the first place, right? But that's his downward spiral into the abyss of hell. And if you don't straighten up before he dies, he's going to go to hell, right? You know, that's the point too, right? You got to straighten yourself up. No one can do it for you. Right, right. So I'm not Dr. Phil, right, or anything like that. Now, these are called hammer curls, and this kind of works the tricep and the bicep. That's Army Hammer, not Arm and Hammer, or is it Mr. Man, right? Now, I could work 8 hours, even a part-time job, right? And go to school, and do my karate, and bike ride, and take the bus, and right, before I fail, before I joined the Navy even, right? The Navy and the shipmates, right? The church a little bit is what all got into my head, right? Okay. Right. If anything's getting to my head, that's what I'm exposed to when I'm in the Navy, not beforehand, right? I'm doing okay beforehand, right? See. I'm not seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist, not even after a wreck, though. If I notice I'm falling asleep in class, and that's important to the Navy or the military, right? Oh, she's getting engaged. That's cute. But anyway, I know. Right. She said yes. How about that? And that's the point too. Whatever I'm saying to anyone in letter form, sometimes I'm literal, sometimes I'm sarcastic, and sometimes I'm completely fictional, right? Because I don't know what to say to you, right? But I'm also trying to reason with you or be irrational myself, right? But I know. To me, you're the one being irrational, and I don't know why suddenly we were okay at first. Even with the premarital sex, I know you felt something down there. And something go inside of you, not just leaky, right? That was kind of quick, not a minute. But with some things, like I told you, it's about the number of reps. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, whatever exercises you're doing, though, this is just a pull down exercises, and it kind of focuses more on your chest to your arms to your belly, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I have seen horror movies. Alright? Right. Now, those are fictional to me. Even if I pretend I might would do something to you like that, right? I'm saying it sarcastically, right? Sometimes. Now, and that's what I mean too, right? Mm-hmm. And don't think the Lord don't know what entrapment is either. Right. It does know what entrapment is, right? It does know when you're accusing someone who keeps trying to tell you you're making me make up false things that aren't true in my character, right? To ask you, do you really think that's part of my character? Which, if you believe what I'm writing to you about, right? And even Stephen King writes horror movies, but doesn't act out, I know, and do the actual things he writes about, you know what I mean, in reality. Now, some of it is obviously fiction, right? But I've seen all kind of movies and TV shows, right? I've heard about kidnappings, right? Things of that nature, right? It don't mean I would really do it, right? But if you're marking me as if I did it, if I didn't do it, then I did it, even if I didn't do it, right? No, that's your imagination, and you're trying to change what I'm saying into your reality when it's not. To me, I'm making it up. I'm not trying to sleep with the child, right? But the child can lie and sleep with me, right? That's called entrapment if she does, right? Now, if I go into the store, like I told you, and it's a regular day and nothing happens, right? I should have came out in time to see the movie, right? If I didn't, something more happened in the store, and someone in the store don't want me to remember what happened, you understand, right? And when I finally got out, right, of the store, and went to see the movie, I had to see a different movie because I missed the movie by over 50 minutes to an hour, right? That's, again, what I'm telling you happened that day, because I'm keeping track of my days now that I know I'm mentally ill, right? You interfered with my timeline, right? When I went into that store, that's all I'm at. And honestly, I know it had something to do with the girl who was doing my nails, and that's all. What we did, I don't know, or can't quite remember 100%, right? Or you did something violent to me worse than what I did with her, and then you lied to me about it, and you don't want to face the law either, right? Well, that's called no fault. No. If we're both guilty of doing something wrong, then we either both have to forgive it, or tell the police and they'll work it out, right? Or let it go completely, right? But the reason I'm talking about it is I do know by the time I got out the store, the time went way later, over an hour. And even if we fall back that night, right? Like this weekend, we're falling back again, right? I went out Saturday day, right? Not Sunday, right? That wasn't the problem either. Now, whoever's lying is lying on their side too, right? And I know something happened with the girl, or you wouldn't be bitching and you wouldn't kick me out the store, right? And you kicked me out because what you did that day freaked you out more than me, right? Because I healed because it was your entrapment, right? You put an underage girl to work without her proper documentation then, right? If she had her proper documentation, she would have felt comfortable telling me her real age if she was 15, right? And that wouldn't have happened, right? Because I didn't know her age, right? I don't even know what all happened 100%. I'm guessing mainly, right? With amnesia, right? Now, if I asked her to go into the bathroom with me, that's a choice, right? How long we're in the bathroom, that's her choice, right? If we didn't get to the bathroom, and you came down, and then you told me she was 15, and I said, well, I didn't know that. She said she was 37. No. Whatever happened, you're blacking me out because of what you were doing wrong, right? Not because I was doing nothing wrong with her in the first place, right? But I can ask her any question I want. 15 or 37. Have you ever dated in America? Or were you from a marriage already in your country when you came here? Or did you meet someone else and marry them, right? Well, even to do that, you got to meet the person, you got to fall in love, and you got to go through the process, right? That starts out with asking the person certain personal questions, right? Age, name, schooling, right? And where they're from are the general questions you ask anyone. Yeah, I know. Right. Entrapment is when you are lying about something because you did something worse than the other person even planned on doing, and you overstepped your boundaries and you did something way more criminal than I could have done, right? But you're trying to call me a pedophile, right? See, what a pedophile is there's someone who actively goes after a child to have sex with them, right? Not someone who told you I was raised against that, right? I knew it better than that. Though I've told you I can make up a story, right, about it, right? But even in the story, I know better than to actually touch the child sexually, right? I know if she wakes me up to get her back to her mom as soon as possible, right? And if that happened or not, the only one who can confirm it or deny it is the ex-wife, right? But then you're making her doubt what I told her if you make me make something else up, right? Unless she, again, tried to get it out the daughter, which she wouldn't understand what I was doing, right? Either. I wouldn't even know what I was really doing, right? Reason is I didn't expect her to wake me up either, right? And if I asked the child who showed her that in either scenario, right, I made up, right? And she said grandma, because grandma raised her, right? The mother didn't understand and asked me what was going on. She just trusted in what the daughter felt happened to her, but it's not true. But it's not true. It's not really what I was doing with her. But that's still from the perspective of a 4-year-old, and then her mother, who either was asleep, like I told you herself, right? And for some reason the daughter woke me up, or was she trying to set me up, right? That too is entrapment, where I don't know what the daughter's real reason for being in there with me is, and I'm trying to explore that one night of the 4 nights before I went back to base, right? And like I told you, either way, I was around Daphne for over a week before I went back to base, right? Anyone who knows more details than that will be my ex-wife or the daughter, or right, but not me, not you. And see, at 4 years old, the daughter, if the mom coaches her, right, or tries to get it out of her what happened, right, her perception is already warped because she's not asking me personally what I was doing, right? And even if I change the story a little bit, it's to protect who she said showed her to do that, which was grandma. Right. Because I don't think grandma would really exactly show her what I may have done with her, but what I'm doing ain't nothing you wouldn't necessarily do with a child either. But at the same time, it depends on why the child's in there with you, that if I did something with her along those lines, right, what I thought I had to do to find out what was going on, right? What are the last 2 reasons a child might wake you up? I told you. To help her pee, right? Or get a bath or a shower. If I'm confused about those two things, right, and do something a little awkward but not criminal, right, that's the difference between what I'm saying, what the other person is saying, now, almost 30 years later, and right, and again, then. And that's the whole point to everything, too, right? Perception ain't just, oh, I'm sleeping on the couch and she'll wake me up and I'm trying to do something with her sexually, right? That's possible, but there's also other reasons I could be doing something with her that looks sexual but isn't sexual, right? Not in my mind, right? Now, bias comes in because what, right? The mother and the daughter are around each other way more than I am, even after the incident, right? Whatever the mother's doing, though, she's not doing it for me or her mother or the child, right? She's doing it so she don't get in trouble. herself. See, because I'm mentally ill and she knew it, and she's not supposed to let her daughter come in there to me in the middle of the night, or she could be trying to entrap me, like I told you, right? That's what I did, right? But it's the whole point to everything. A dream is just a snapshot, right? If it's a short dream or a long dream, right? I had the snapshot shot, I saw the thorn of God in heaven that lasted about 3 seconds, right? I also had a dream of an Asian-looking girl when I was dating a redhead who told me to wanted to introduce me to her Native American cousin, right? And I dreamed of a girl before I met her who looked like a Native American girl, but when I met the other girl, she didn't look like the girl in the dream. She was a little bit heavier set, right? Whatever that means, right? I also had a dream when I was going out to Davis's church that I had sex with a redhead and she held me in and I was on top and right. I don't know if that ever happened, right? But it was a dream I had when going out to a church, right? I don't know. And I ejaculated inside of the redhead, right? And in the dream. I don't know what it means though, I'm just guessing, right? Right. But his unitship program, it was kind of strict. You couldn't even have sex before you joined the church, right? Which that ain't Jesus, right? Either, right? Your baptism was supposed to cleanse you from all the sins you did before you were baptized as well. It's not that you're washing your body, you're washing your spirit, right? And trying to repent of your sins. And part of that repentance includes the forgiveness of the sins of others, right? Or you're forgetting the message of Jesus, right? All right. So, the actual workout is maybe, 5 minutes. Plus earlier, that was about, let's say 10 minutes. I know. If I go for a walk around 5 or something, right, or 6, right, and walk down the street at least, that's the 30-minute workout, right? Most people in my situations can't even do that, though, right? No. But I'm not everybody in that situation because my faith level may be higher, right? And I don't understand how I could be that injured in the Navy, right? From a mere 3-story fall to you. I mean, I was already pointing down, so I don't see how I got that injured, right? But then again, the only alternative is I was attacked in the front instead of fell in the back, right? And I can't prove that, though, right? Or can I, right? If the person harasses me for 15 years on YouTube, something's off, right? I don't know. But I still can't say who had a motive, right? And I'm trying to let it all go, right? The wife leaving in Tennessee, and if her daughter came in there or not, right? But who's the one acting dangerous towards the other? The wife. The wife. Not me, right? She already left me straight to Tennessee. Her daughter was in there with her. She came in there to me, right? And again, right, that's not on me, that's still on the mom. I'm not the legal guardian, I'm the stepdad, right? The mom's the legal guardian, right? Now, if the biological dad, and here's where you throw in a monkey wrench, right, was trying to get custody of the daughter, right, he could have coached her, right? I can't say he did, I can't say he didn't either, but that's called an alternative, right? An alibi, right? I wasn't the only man around her, right? Who could have coached her, right? To wait, someone sleeping up on the couch. Sleeping on the couch, right? See, that's the problem too, right? But that's what I mean. But do you think all this happened or not, right? You can't just know without knowing, right? You have to have evidence, proof. Proof ain't you coaching her to wake you up sleeping on your couch, right? With your ex-wife playing my wife, right? Or your current wife, I don't know. And me sleeping on the couch, and only you and her would know that if you did as well. Then that she's playing Daphne, you're playing me, and you're teaching her to wake me up in the middle of the night. And that's not what you're supposed to do either, ultimately, right? Whether something happened or not as well. And like I said, someone did something they weren't supposed to do, or their daughter wouldn't wake me up, if I can tell you, right? Normally either, right? Usually if the child has to go to the bathroom, she turns on the light and goes to the bathroom. Especially with the light already on in the living room. That's all she would have to do, right? Nothing else should happen either, I know. Or the mother should escort her to the bathroom, or she was asleep and didn't know she went to the bathroom. And again, that's all I can guess, right? I don't even know what side of the bed her or the daughter were sleeping on, right? But usually, if you're a good mom, you probably let her sleep in the inside, you sleep on the outside, so that she gets up, might wake you up, right? Does that sound like someone who doesn't know sleeping arrangements and things like that, and how to deal with the child if she came in there or not? Or someone who does know how to deal with that if she came in there or not, right? But then there's a motivation, not mine, right? To make it seem like I could have molested the daughter, right? It's not my motivation or anything beneficial to even mess with the daughter sleeping in the bedroom, right? Now, a real pedophile might not even care if she was with the mother, might would have tried to entice her with a piece of candy or something. I didn't have a piece of candy to even entice her or think of that, right? And that should be something funny, and you should laugh at it, right? Because none of it makes sense to me at all, right? And until you quit talking about it on YouTube, since I am mentally ill, I do have to deal with it as if this is how it would have to have happened, right? And the other way it could have happened, right? Was not on me, but the mom anyway, right? And I told you, when you're blaming me, you're blaming the mom too. You're blaming her first, right? She's the more responsible party. She's supposed to be, even with half her brain removed and having a tumor removed from her brain, right? Still the girl's legal guardian over the stepdad, right? I'm second. The biological dad has some rights until he gets custody, right? Which could give him a motive, right? But I have no motive to mess with the girl or the mom, right? I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? See, that's how that works too, right? I'm not trying to interfere with their sleeping together either, because I could wake up the mom, right? And I ain't going to worry about it if I've already been sleeping on the couch I'm comfortable there. That's my bed until I can get back to base, right? That's also the point, too. The child is violating my sleeping quarters, not me, hers, right? In the scenario. And real pedophiles, again, even with my real situation, wouldn't mess with the daughter as well. You know what I mean, right? You have to be kind of desperate if you're going to do that with the mother and daughter sleeping together, right? Right. I ain't trying to get the daughter with me or not with me, right? Either. But I have no clue of that either, right? Alright, this is long enough. Bye-bye.